This episode of the Backbreaker Breakdown is brought to you by the Big Pro Wrestle Talk Network. If you aren't doing so already, you should go ahead and subscribe.
What is up, Backbreaker fans? It is me, Vinny Z, the voice of Backbreaker Wrestling, here to tell you everything you need to know before going to this Saturday's Under the Lights event from Cedar Lake, Indiana. This is Backbreaker Breakdown. Alrighty, today on the first episode of Backbreaker Breakdown, first things first, we gotta break down what happened at last month's show. Last month we had Backbreaker Wrestling presents Super Slam. We're out live from St. Mary's Hildebrand Hall in Griffith, Indiana. Alright, first up on that night we had one loudmouth, President Jeremy Hadley, go one-on-one against your American hero and mine, one Scott Powers, in the opening contest of the show. This match was a very back and forth battle. Jeremy Hadley getting a lot of offense in, and Jeremy Hadley also having to get a little defensive in there, but Jeremy Hadley's always getting defensive over anything, everything and anything. Let's be real here, people. If you've seen Jeremy Hadley wrestle, you know that he's going to do whatever he can to win. And that's what he did in this match here, as he had Punisher come out at the very end of the match after Jeremy Hadley was in that sleeper hold submission by Scott Powers. After Scott Powers was distracted by Punisher during that submission move, you see Jeremy Hadley come in with the roll-up 1, 2, 3. President Jeremy Hadley took the win. No, stole the win over Scott Powers. Could we see something come from this at this Saturday's event Under the Lights? Who knows? You'll just have to come out to the show and wait and see. Now, this next one on the night was kind of a disappointing ending, to say the least, because the matchup didn't really happen. The matchup was one Richie Rothschild going up against Dick Davis, everyone's favorite wrestler at Backbreaker Wrestling. Unfortunately, you know what? I'm not even gonna say what happened. Just watch this.
Greetings, Dick Davis.
As you can see, the team of Johnny Motley, Cujo, Punisher, and Richie Rothschild all took out Dick Davis right as he got to the hall earlier in the day. And it's very upsetting because we wanted to see that match, Richie Rothschild versus Dick Davis, the #1 contendership for the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, Richie Rothschild did steal the victory with a count-out victory because Dick Davis was not there. He was taken out. He was misplaced by the team, by that faction of Cujo and all them. Oh, Cujo, gosh, he's getting into my head again. But yes, Richie Rothschild did win, and he did become the #1 contender for the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. But right as he's getting ready to leave, he's getting ready to go to the back and then pack his stuff up and go home, Dave Allen, the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Champion at the time, comes out and he gives him a big old cutter. He tells him that if you're going to have this title match, you are going to have it tonight. And that is exactly what we had, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. We're going to get into that later on. We're going to talk about the next matchup. Next up, we had the Backbreaker Wrestling Legacy Championship up for grabs as the infamous Thomas Keith, accompanied to the ring by King Bishop and Tully Bertorelli, took on the champion, Gabe the Brave Juarez. And this was a very interesting back and forth battle. And at the end, Gabe the Brave Juarez did come out on top, retaining his Backbreaker Wrestling Legacy Championship title. The next match of the night was Matt Dewar going up against something that I'd like to dub officially as Mean Man Motley, because he's so mean now. They're like, I can't believe he turned his back on everybody who loved him there at Backbreaker Wrestling. It's so heartbreaking, but it's something that we're gonna have to get over and move on with, because it looks like Johnny Motley has moved on himself and he is trying to do bigger and better things for what he thinks is bigger and better things for himself. But we know, oh my goodness, we know that something is not going to be going well here at the end of this for him. But we had, like I said, Mean Man Motley go up against Matt Dewar in an intense matchup, to say the least. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and if it's your opinion too, that's amazing. But this was the match of the night. Two guys, Matt Dewar, Mean Man Motley. I'm not even gonna call him Johnny Motley. He's Mean Man Motley now. Matt Dewar, Johnny Motley, they put on one heck of a battle. Oh gosh, I can't believe I just said Johnny Motley. Sorry. But Johnny Motley and Matt Dewar put on an intense matchup, an insane matchup. There was even a part where there was a huge, massive superplex off the top rope. And you know what? I'll show you that right now. Cut to it. Yes, that was an amazing match, let me tell you. But at the end, Matt Dewar did stand on top with his hand raised after his fantastic, explosive Selena Del Sol looking finishing move. And it was magnificent. Let's move on to the next matchup. And that next matchup would be the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Championship title match, as Dave Allen would defend his title against Richie Rothschild, who won that #1 contendership match earlier on in the night. Now, this match, it was a great match. Don't get me wrong, both men fantastic competitors. Richie Rothschild, just the same as earlier, as we had another screwy finish with Punisher coming in and helping out one of his guys. Unfortunately, this happened again. Punisher would come out, slide Richie Rothschild what looks to have been brass knuckles, and Richie Rothschild would take full advantage of that, knock Dave Allen right in the jaw with those brass knuckles, and then take the 1-2-3 pinfall victory. Richie Rothschild did become your new Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Champion in an unfortunate ending, as he did use brass knuckles, so he did cheat to get the win. No, there's no in my opinion. That is what happened. He cheated to get the win, but it's okay. We'll just have to see. Maybe he'll be a fighting champion. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll be a fighting champion. Okay, who knows? Who knows? The next matchup is a prime example of big meaty men slapping meat in professional wrestling, where we had Tully Bertarelli with King Bishop in his corner go one-on-one with Lynn's favorite wrestler and yours, Trog the Caveman, in quite the beefy battle, if you ask me. This match did unfortunately end with a double countout, with Tully Bertarelli trying to do whatever he can to take out Lynn's favorite wrestler. He did whatever he can to take down Trog. Trog did leave on his own 2 feet though. He did get up, he did do a roar. He roared for the crowd, and he said, he didn't say, but the hypothetical saying of he will be back and he will get his revenge on Tully Bertarelli eventually. But as of for now, we'll just have to see where these two men go, where who knows? And let it be known, Trog didn't actually, roar. It was the hypothetical roar because he got up. So just want to put that out there. And the next matchup was the main event of the night, where we had Doing It Dirty D&D, Diesel and Dallas, defending their Backbreaker Wrestling Tag Team titles against Cujo and Punisher. And let me just say, if you noticed, I messed up some introductions. I forgot to say that the titles were on the line right away. And I know for a fact that Punisher and Cujo at a combined weight are not 320 pounds or whatever I said. That was Cujo from the back. He was in my head. He took over my mind. He had some sort of voodoo doll of me in the back, and he was telling it what I had to say. And you know what? He probably had it say what I said out there. And if you need to know, here you go. This is what I said out there. Yeah, Cujo may have gotten into my head, and he did rest his gross head on my shoulder as he was awaiting his opponents. But Diesel and Dallas did come out on top, and they did in fact retain their tag team titles. And that was that for SuperSlam. And now let's start to take the deep dive. Let's do a Backbreaker breakdown of Under the Lights. And now for this Under the Lights breakdown, we are going to go through the matches as they were announced in order. This is not the card order. I do not know the card order. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm excited to see you at Under the Lights. Now let's break down this show, beginning with the very first Brass Knuckles champion is going to be crowned this Saturday in a 6-man match between Chip, the Manimal Walker, Matt DeWar, Cujo, Kurt Joseph, Billy, the returning Billy the Kid, Mean Man Motley, and Brentley Alexander Dawson in an insane 6-man match. And the winner is going to be the first Brass Knuckles champion. Now this is going to be an interesting matchup because, like I said, we have some faces we didn't see at the last show. We have Chip Walker. We have the returning Billy the Kid. We have Brentley Alexander Dawson. This is going to be a great show. Matt DeWar in this matchup as well. We have Cujo, Mean Man Motley. We have, think about that for a second. Mean Man Motley and Cujo, they've been working together as of late. They took out Dick Davis at the last show. Who knows? Maybe they'll take out Chip before this show. Maybe they'll take out Billy. Who knows? But this is going to be an interesting matchup because it is every man for themselves, and every man is going to have the opportunity to become the champion. And if these two men if they lose sight of being on the same page, this can mean danger for their own self-being. But yes, we do have that Brass Knuckles title match. But next up, we do have Punisher going up against Lynn's favorite wrestler and ours, and everyone else is at Backbreaker Wrestling, Trog the Caveman. After the double count out at the last show at SuperSlam, you think Trog is going to want to come back and he's going to want to take down somebody who hurt the fans emotionally, as Punisher did 2 times in the night. It's okay though, Trog. We all have good faith in you, buddy. We know that Trog is going to come out on top. Or maybe Punisher has some tricks up his sleeve because, Punisher did help his boys. Maybe his boys will come out and help Punisher take the win. Who knows? Even if the two Cujo and Mean Man Motley are in the previous matchup, who knows? Who knows? But another example, meaty men slapping meat, big men. Punisher being like 1,000,000 feet tall. And then we got Trog, who's just a big caveman in his own right. Punisher, Trog, it's going to be a battle that you're going to not want to miss. It's going to be insane. Next up, also was not at SuperSlam, we have Jake Roan going up against Tully Bertarelli with King Bishop in his corner. I think this matchup can go either way. Tully Bertarelli also coming off of that double count out draw from SuperSlam. Now coming into Under the Lights, we saw what he can do. We've seen what Tully is capable of. Jake Roan he better be ready. We saw what Tully did to Trog. We don't know. Maybe Jake just came back from injury. Who knows? Jake can get hurt again. We don't want Jake to get hurt, obviously. That would be terrible. But Tully Bertarelli, we don't know with him. He's an unstoppable force that needs to be focused on more within Backbreaker Wrestling. He's somebody who the Backbreaker wrestlers in that locker room need to look out for. He is a vicious looking man, and he is a vicious man in that ring. Next up, after King Bishop had to do a little convincing to Gabe the Brave Juarez, he is putting his title up one more time against the infamous Thomas Keith. We saw what happened at SuperSlam. Who knows? Maybe Thomas Keith has something up his sleeve to get back that title. Last year at Under the Lights, Thomas Keith beat Johnny Motley to become that champion. Who knows? Maybe something could happen, and maybe, Gabe is gonna lose. Who knows? Thomas Keith, we saw how frustrated and angry he was after his loss at SuperSlam. For all we know, he could take all that anger, let it build up, continue to build up, and next thing you know, he's going crazy on Gabe the Brave, and he walks out with the Legacy Championship. Who knows? But Gabe the Brave, he's also a man of calmness. He is a man of, he will do what he can to get it done, but he will do it in a way that you will not expect. Gabe the Brave Juarez and Thomas Keith have been going at each other's throats for the past year now, and it all will come to an end, hopefully, at Under the Lights. And if you want to see the threats that were coming from Thomas Keith and from King Bishop and Tully Bertarelli, just watch this video and you will see, oh man, just how frustrated Thomas Keith really is.
I'm here with King Bishop and Tully Bertarelli, and I thought Thomas Keith was supposed to...
What happened out there, guys? We had a plan. You know whose fault this is? This is... No, Tully. No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, big man. It's Gabe's fault.
Yeah.
It's Gabe's fault. I want a rematch.
No. Gabe, we're so sick and tired of you running around with our legacy belt. We can't even talk about it. So I'm just telling you right now, it's coming. It's coming like a steamroller, and it's gonna mow you down.
And what looks to be the last match of the night, we got Diesel and Dallas doing a dirty D&D, looking to defend their titles after they've been on this year-long journey and year-long title reign. As Leo LaFleur and Damian Tyler return to Backbreaker Wrestling. The Invoked return to Backbreaker Wrestling, hopefully to become the new Backbreaker Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Me personally, I don't know too much about the Invokes. They could be some pretty dangerous gentlemen for all I know. But what I do know is D&D, Diesel, and Dallas have had those titles for this long, and it's not for no reason at all. These two are who they say they are. They are big, they are mean, they do what they can to keep their titles, and they will do the same at Under the Lights this Saturday. Well, that looks to be all that... Oh, wait, what's this? A Facebook notification. What is this? Oh, Backbreaker Wrestling posted on Facebook. Let's take a look and see what this is.
Hey, Backbreaker Wrestling fans, we are less than a week away from Under the Lights in Cedar Lake, Indiana, where we have already announced we will be crowning the first ever Brass Knuckles champion. You've seen that match advertised, a huge six-man match, and the winner will make history and be the first ever Backbreaker Wrestling Brass Knuckles champion. A match you've probably noticed that hasn't been announced is going to be the Heavyweight Championship. With a lack of better way to put it, Richie Rothschild is essentially holding the championship hostage. He's given me the whole runaround. He beat Dick Davis and Dave Allen both in the same night. But anyone that was there saw what happened that night. Dick Davis wants his match with Richie Rothschild. Dave Allen wants his return match for the heavyweight championship. And with Richie claiming he doesn't have a suitable challenger and that he's not going to be there, I've made a big decision. We're going to have a number one contender for Richie. And what we're going to do is have Dick Davis versus Dave Allen, and the winner is the number one contender for the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. So the card is set. You guys have seen all the matches go up. We know where this is going. And I hope to see you Saturday night at Under the Lights.
Well, you heard it here. Kate Lee, owner of Backbreaker Wrestling, just came out with this huge announcement of Dave Allen going up against Dick Davis? Number one contendership for Richie Rothschild's world title? That's amazing. This is going to be a fantastic show. Just as Kate Lee said, make sure you show up to Under the Lights this Saturday in Cedar Lake, Indiana at the Cedar Lake baseball fields. You will not want to miss this event. It is going to be fantastic. Bring those lawn chairs. Bring that sunscreen. It's going to be sunny out there, I'm pretty sure. But it may be a little hot out. But the wrestlers are going to bring the heat. You will not want to miss Backbreaker Wrestling Under the Lights this Saturday in Cedar Lake, Indiana. Hope to see you there. You know I'll be there. I'll be the man with the microphone in that ring, the voice of Backbreaker Wrestling, Vinny Z. Thank you so much for watching this first edition of the Backbreaker Breakdown. And let's get it. Backbreaker Wrestling Under the Lights. There are no limits.
Mirror, mirror.